Good day, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 in our series on Airport CEO. We're going to start off today where we left off in our last episode and carry on with setting up the USSR in preparation for the world war that we know is coming. And when we left off last time, we were going to finish the setup of our Navy and then move over to the Army. Now, just to remind ourselves of what we've done, let's go and have a look at our construction queue. We set up 12 civilian factories because we need to get those building. And we've started down here with some military factories so that we know when we've done those initial 12 from memory civilian factories. But that's going on. So let's just go north up here where our main fleet is going to be in there and have a look at and let's get the game going while we do this so that our factories can be building. So this is our fleet list. This is going to be our main fleet, primarily for taking on the Germans later in the game. And we want to get a little more structure in here than we've currently got. In the past, I found a fairly good mix for a fleet is around about 20 destroyers, 4 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, and a couple of battleships. And if you really want to add some extra punch to the fleet, then you put in a battle cruiser. So let's go ahead first of all and line up what we've got in our current build queues to reflect that. I'm not a big fan of the submarine fleet, so we're going to basically bring that under control, which we've done here. Oh, we've done this. Okay, cool. I've forgotten that we've gone through and done this. So we've got everything set up and we're bringing the submarines to an end pretty quickly. That's good. We've set up the heavy cruisers. That's fine. Okay, we're all good. We got further than I remember us getting. Excellent. Now we are having insufficient resources up there, so let's just have a look at that. That is rubber. Now, if you're going to buy from somewhere, I would prefer to buy from a source that does not require a fleet to ship the product that you're buying. That way you can continue to maintain your fleet. And actually, while we're talking about fleet, let's just go back because I want to make sure we are building supply fleets, and we are not. So we definitely want to build those. And we want that right up the top of our queue for allocation of resources. And remembering, of course, that allocation is done from top to bottom. So the first fleet or first Navy area that has a requirement for build in the list is the one that will be allocated to. So we definitely want our convoys to be built up the minute we get a free naval dockyard. Okay, so now we've done that. We're not going to worry about our Air Force just at the moment, but we are going to be working on our Army. So the first thing we need to do, or the first thing I do, is group up. And I group up so that, let me just go out a bit. I group up so that things like most of our cavalry and our NKVD units, which are quite low in manpower and not as strong as regular infantry, I'm going to put over here on the eastern side or on our eastern theatre, just as a border force for the Japanese who are operating down here. With the exception that I will have an army of regular infantry down here because, first of all, we want to defend Vladivostok. And secondly, early in the game, there is a border incident that could occur here. And we want regular troops to be involved in that, not particularly NKVD. And then over here on the west, in preparation for the might of the German army, we want our main units to be our set up for our defenses right here. So let's get along. We'll put the speed up while we're doing this, and I will just go ahead and do this so that we've set everything up. So first of all, I will sort by type. And I will come down here and find all the NKVD units, and I will select them. Uh, 15, 16. I think I counted 18. Yes, I did. Okay. We are going to give you a commander. Now, at this stage, when we look at our available commanders, we have a look at our field marshals, and quite frankly, they're not that impressive. They have some small bonuses, but as field marshals, they're not actually as good as third rank or even second rank generals. So I tend to use my field marshals for, shall we say, less significant roles in the beginning of the game. And we are going to bring all of the NKVD units over here. And then we're going to go back and we're going to choose all our cavalry. Right, 22 units, 22 divisions, I should actually say. And we are going to collect you along here as well. Then, now, okay. The next thing that I do, and as a generalization, is when you come down to the Turkish border, you'll notice there's a very mountainous region there. And also, Turkey itself is quite mountainous. And that is a good place for deploying our Alpine troops. So we're going to go and collect all our Alpine troops, and we're going to put them down there on the Russian-Turkish border. Because if we are called into action down there, that's going to be a very good place to have those units. Okay. Now, in this particular case, I'm going to assign a general, not a field marshal, because these troops may actually be used in combat. So General Rodion Malinovsky has one disadvantage, is his leadership gain is -25. And with any luck, these units will not be involved in the major conflict. So we don't need to assign a top ranking officer to that role. Okay, now, next we have general infantry. I'm not going to worry about armor at this stage or mech at this stage. So we're just going to come right down here to general infantry. And we're going to go... Now, from memory, the last time I did this, I needed 4 units to span the rivers across the Soviet Union on our western border and 1 army for Vladivostok. So we need a total of 5 armies. Now, going across at a strength of 8, we get 3 layers. So 8 threes are 24. So let's go 8 in an army. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, because this is going to be our major defensive line, we want capable officers in here. So we're going to go straight up into the 3s, looking for officers that we can use. And we're going to go with Mr. Kirill Meretskov for 1. And then we'll go down further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Leonid Govorov. Oops, wrong area. And for you, my friend, I think Andrei Vlasov. He's got a winter attrition -50, and he is a good infantry officer. So definitely we're going to use him. That gives us 3. We need 1 more, and that will complete our line. Or at least the start of it. So we will have armies on the line, but they will be under strength at the beginning of the game. And now there's another infantry leader, Nikolai Bezarin. He is now our 4th, and our 5th, which will be Army Vladivostok, will have a further 8 units assigned to it. Okay, and you will be out of supply -50. Now that is actually a good one for Vladivostok. So I think General Kuznetsov made that quite good. 2, 4, 5. Okay, fine. Now, we do know that the Spanish Civil War is coming, so we want to put 5 divisions aside for that oncoming conflict. So let's go and choose 5 divisions and give them an officer in preparation for that. But got to hold the shift key down when you do that. Okay, and for my away army, as a general rule, I like to send Georgy Sakharov. Mainly because he gets some really good experience while he's in the front, fighting in Spain as a volunteer. And then on his return, I will promote him to Field Marshal. And he brings with him some pretty good experience. So we're going to bring that army there. Okay. Now, the rest of our army, well, we do need to start some training too, but the rest of our army needs to be collected. How many have we got? We've got a few. It doesn't matter if we go over the 24, sorry, in this sense, but we do want to collect them all in the one place. So let's just go ahead and do that. Because they won't be together for very long, even though they will be, I'm pretty sure, over 24 in this batch. Yep, 28. So we'll just collect them under a low-ranking general. Well, a general with a rank of skill level of 1. Chukov. Seems good. And then we'll collect our mechanized and armored units into the one command. And there is the mech unit. Oops. Do not let go of the shift key when you are selecting units. Scrolling up. Okay. And that should account for all our units. And indeed it does. Okay, fine. Now we need to move these guys around and get them in position. So the first thing I think we need to do to make our life just a little bit easier is we'll call this top one the Soviet theater, which we will assume will be around Moscow. Then we will create a second theater, and we will rename this as Western Theater. And we will make another one from these units, which will, surprisingly enough, be the Eastern Theater. And we will put their reinforcement priority down to the lowest level. Mainly because at this stage, we're not expecting a conflict over here. And we will be trying to build up mostly on the Western Theatre side. However, we need to remember that when the conflict, or if a conflict starts over there, we will have to adjust that reinforcement setting. While we're here, let's go and have a look at recruit and deploy for a minute. Our big issue is when we're in conflict, we're going to want to have a pretty high priority for reinforcement and a fairly low priority for upgrading equipment, especially if we are building a lot of new units. So we're going to set that up now. Okay. So we've got our cavalry and our NKVD units moving over to the east. This particular unit down here, or this particular army, I should say, we're going to leave in the Soviet at the moment, but we are going to move these remaining 8s. So there were, we finished the 5-year plan, so that's good. Let's go and have a quick look at that. And we are going to go straight away for the armament effort because those additional factories are very helpful to us early in the game. So we're going to move our line, our defensive line armies down into the Western Front. And we planned out 4 for bordering the rivers. And then the 5th one was going to be Army Leningrad. Very good. Now, I think we should possibly fix this up so that these colors don't get us confused later on in the game. So we're going to stay up here with the pink red, but let's start with the strongest colors first. And as a general principle, this is going to be my standard infantry symbol so that we can identify our troops. And you're going to be a lighter pink. Well, actually, that's not going to work out particularly well because when we try to work through these in line, we want them to be able to be easily identifiable. So we are going to make the colors as they appear next to each other very different. Where did we get down to? Blue, so then we should be green. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, that's green. Easy to identify when they're next to each other. And then you should be yellow. That's a pretty dirty yellow. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay. And again, doing that again, Stephen, stop it. And again, making it easier to differentiate them when they're in the line next to each other. So just below yellow should be orange, or in our case, kind of a burnt thing there, whatever that is. And that one is Army Leningrad, right? So let's take these infantry units, which we had set aside because we hadn't put them anywhere yet, and let's put them behind Moscow to start. But that's a good place for them. The 12, which is our mechanized units and our armored units, we'll move you up here so we know where you are. And leave your set to go there. Where are you? Why haven't you deployed into your area? Where are you? What are you doing up there? Should be in your unit. Very odd. All right, let's try that again with this guy. And we'll turn that off. Select all. And we'll put you right there. Ah, now you're working. Okay, and then we'll turn you on. Sure, that works. I'm okay with that. So the Eastern Theatre troops are going there. Our line's getting set up. We're okay there. The 28. You've not moved either. Why haven't you moved? Select all. Boom. Boom. You know what? Come down anyway. How interesting. Okay. All right. So now we need to start getting our army deployed. So this particular unit, or this particular army, must start calling them by what they are going to have a front of 8. And we're going to use the fallback line to define where they go. And we're going to put them on the river. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you very much. And the next one, we'll come down here. Ooh. Okay, let's finish laying this out first so I don't get distracted. 1. Oh, no. There's our fallback line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. All right. Now, let's go and have a look at our research. Oh, good. -2 research time. That's handy for us. And this one will give us a -3 research time. Okay, that's our second army. Our third army. Gosh, we're all over the place. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. Laying out the line. Oh, that was bad. That was very bad. Hang on, let's get rid of that line because that's not going to work at all well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In yellow. One. No. Because that's where you started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8. Ooh, we're one short. I don't know about that one. Let's go there anyway. We might have to use the army in Leningrad because when we put our forts in, we're going to run forts across here and then one over there. So that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's going to be doable. Okay, so 4 being Army Leningrad, you very simply will be assigned for now to that area. And I believe it includes there. No, it does not, but that's okay. We'll broaden it out later to include there, so that's fine. Oh, we're not running, we should run. Okay. Hopefully now everyone will be going to their assigned positions and the world will be looking pretty good. Let's just go and have a look at our construction queue, see how we're going here. Yep. All for the good. Okay, so we're looking like we're starting to set up. And hopefully what we're going to build here and do is going to be sufficient to hold the Germans from basically destroying Russia and keep our friends over here in check. Why are you not moving? Game, what are you doing? What is going on, game? These units Yeah, you're moving. You are not, but you should be. Maybe it's because the unit. No, but you're not moving either. Okay, maybe we've got a glitch, or maybe we've just got too many units in that army. So we're going to start distributing now. How many have you got? 28. We could go 4. Let's just go 2 for now. Okay. Possibly. Do we need you? I don't think we need you at this stage. So let's go up to 12 then. And then we need to give some consideration to training our units to bring their experience levels up. 2 is the minimum. Okay, this is the event on our border that I had mentioned a little time ago, where we get a border incident with Japan. So let's go. And actually, you know what? There's 8 good units right there. Let's turn strategic redeployment on and get you guys into the area where the border conflict is going to come, which is right there. Cool. And so what we do is, to bring our new units into line, we simply redefine our fallback line, and that will call them in. Like so. And then we will have all the units assigned, all the divisions assigned to that army in the right place. Do 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 do. Shouldn't you be up to there? Hang on. That could be a small issue for us. Let's just recount this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. Oh, I may have missed by 1. Okay. Okay. Just as well we're redoing this, I think. Okay. Let's come down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we're out by 1. Okay. This is going to mean that Leningrad's army is going to need to come out just a little bit more. So 12, we'll start you right here. 1, 2, 3, Whoa, can't draw for nuts. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we're going to have to come over one more. But that's okay. We had the troop. Okay. So far, so good. Let's go over to the Eastern Front for a minute and let's do some organising over here. See if we can't divide up this front a little better by, what have we got? 18 NKVD and 22. Let's go for 6s, I think. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Separate you out. Make a new army. I think Macreta is the right man for that job. And we will add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. And you will form a new border. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then a second army. Andrei Yeremenko. He's also good with cavalry, so he is, I feel, a good choice there. Very cool. And now you will be given the border from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is getting interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. That is actually a pretty good fit. Right, so the Spanish Civil War has started. So let's just drop the speed down from an border conflict. Gosh, we don't have any units there. We may lose it. I may have left it too late to get our units there. Okay. Let's go over to Spain for a minute. And of course, we will be on the Republican side. The first thing I would like to do is give our friends there some air. And we'll give them our old ones. And we'll give them 2 units per month. Why will it not let me send? Acceptance is not required. Right, have to click on it. Okay, send that, and then we can then send our volunteers on the 20th of May, which is tomorrow, as it turns out. So our volunteers are going to be the army we were preparing up here from General Georgy Zakharov, and he's going to be the guy that we're going to send over to fight in Spain. And we just pause that for, I think. Yeah, we're not doing real well there because we don't have any troops in the area. Okay. So let's go over here and start on our Stalin Constitution. And we've got some military factories, which is good. So let's go and see what we've got going on here. Quick review of this. We are building fighters. We're not building bombers. And we're not building close support aircraft. Well, we haven't developed close support aircraft yet, but initially we do need fighters because we are going to try and prevent the Germans, and if need be, the Japanese, from having air superiority in our theatre. But at this time, we need infantry equipment and we need light tanks. So that's where we're going to be spending our resources. And we've got the grand sum total of 3. So I'm going to go with 2, 3, and then I'm going to add another infantry equipment because the next time we get some factories, I want them to go into infantry equipment. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take 1 off there just so we get 1 more up there, and then 2 there, 2 extra there, and 2 extra here, and an extra down here for the light tank and the motorized. Okay. Looking pretty good, even though we messed that up, but still. Hopefully it won't affect our progress in the war too much. I took my general from another army and assigned him to an NKVD army. And now the NKVD army is on its way down there. Okay. Fair enough. Right, so was it the 20th of May or the 21st of May we could send units to Spain? It's now. Leave us send our great volunteers, 5 divisions under Georgy Zakharov. Great training for a future field marshal of the Soviet Union. Okay. How's our construction going? It's going to take us a while to get through this area because we're literally not even doing a full 2 slots at one time. But this is why we need to build this up, because the more civilian factories we have, the more slots we're able to simultaneously build. And that is good for the Soviet Union. So we're going along pretty well at the moment. We can speed that up to 3 while we wait for our guys to arrive in Spain. In the meantime, we could lament this, but that may not be useful. We are just going to have to take whatever comes out of that one, I feel. Okay, so that's we're pretty well set up. We could actually start working on our Air Force at this time. So maybe we should do that. And the first thing I normally do in the Air Force is bring everyone back to Moscow so that we can Army experience plus 20, okay. So that we can work out our distribution and where we're going to put our aircraft. Get some structure in it and also understand where we put things. We have arrived in Republic of Spain. So let's just slow that down for a minute. Let's finish moving our aircraft back to Moscow. Oh, Minsk is already on its way there. What about you? Kiev? No, you're still there. And Sevastopol, you need to go back up to Moscow. And our farthest flung regions over here on the east. What have we got in you? Yeah, I'm going to send you back to Moscow as well. Why not? After all, communism is a centralized command and control structure, if not only for the military, but also for the civilian population as well, based on the control of everything. And if you control everything, you control pretty much nothing. Okay, so here we are in sunny downtown Valencia. The main reason we're actually here, and we need to get our organisation back up before we go into combat, but the main reason we're actually here, apart from helping our good friends, the Spanish Republicans, is also to gain some practical experience for our troops and for our future Field Marshal, Georgie. But we're 47 minutes in, and I think it's time to call it a game before we start working our way through the Spanish Civil War, which will be the predominant activity in our next video. So thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you like, please press the like button. And if you feel so inclined, thank you very much for subscribing. So until next time, it's bye for now.